and welcome back to Sakura Angels. In the last episode, we met our hero who, on his way to school on a completely normal day, got caught in a strange bubble in time where he was attacked by a monster. He was then procedurally saved by two angels, or so it seemed. They had known that he was in danger for a while and had actually not intended to show themselves to him, but as they did, they promised to protect him further. Let's continue. Taking a moment to catch my breath, I dragged myself over to my desk, the teacher arriving almost seconds after I collapsed into the chair. Too close. None of the other students seemed too bothered by my late entrance, though at this point, maybe this is what they expect of me anyway. I have been pretty late at times, even missing the bell entirely some days, mostly due to sleeping in. At least this time I had an actual reason for cutting it so close. However, after what happened earlier, I think it's going to be impossible for me to focus on the lesson. I'm beginning to wonder if I'll ever get an explanation for whatever the heck that just happened. Impossibly tall creatures, girls wielding magic weapons. No matter how I look at it, my brain refuses to accept it as reality. It goes against everything I know. I scrubbed through my hair, a faint headache still ringing in the back of my head. Being lucky enough to have a seat situated by the window, I let my gaze wander out, my eyes vacant as I stare into the clear blue sky. The teacher is doing his usual morning speech, no doubt talking about the upcoming events for school, but his words are just a dull mumble in my ears, my mind miles away. These girls knew me by name, and no matter how far I delve back through my memories, it's clear that I've never ever seen them in my life. At least, I don't think I've seen them before. I think hard, maybe too hard, to the point where my eyes begin to strain. Nope, nothing. I can't recall a single thing that might shed light on this. Defeated for now, I tune back into the classroom whilst keeping my sights set on the sky, the teacher's voice becoming clear once more. Now, I know it's a bit sudden, but as of today we have 2 transfer students that will be joining our class. Transfer students? At this time of year? It's a bit too late to be joining, don't you think? Even the teacher sounds confused as he announces them, and not just 1, but 2? Why do I get the feeling there's something off about this? Almost as if it's tied into what happened earlier. Ha! No, it couldn't be. I'd like you all to make them feel welcome as they transition in. What did you say your names were? I'm Sayaka. Nice to meet you all. I hope we can get along. I bolt upright in my seat, my head snapping towards the front of the classroom. That upbeat voice. Is it really? Sure enough, the 2 girls I never thought I'd see again are stood before me. In my school. In my classroom, no less, wearing the school's official uniform. The cheerful one, Sayaka, bows politely to the class, flashing me a grin as her eyes pass over me. What is this? The other girl is less courteous, her arms crossed and her brow furrowed. She doesn't look pleased to be here, at all. Her gaze passes over me too, but rather than smile, she gives me a nasty glare. Is she blaming me for this? It sure feels like it. The grumpy one beside me is Hikari. Go on, say hi. Hey, don't. Oh! Sayaka gives her a playful push and she stumbles to the center of the classroom, everyone's eyes upon her. She looked like she's at a loss for words, her mouth opening and closing as her face gradually goes red. I guess she doesn't cope well under the spotlight. I'm Hikari. Nice to meet you all. She trails off into a murmur before spinning on her heel and storming her way back to Sayaka, practically hiding behind her. See, that wasn't too hard, was it? Hikari shimmers with a silent rage, her hands balled up into tight fists, practically shaking. I'm sure if she wasn't in a classroom full of people, this might have gotten violent. With their introductions over, the teacher motions for them to take their seats. Wait a second. I only just realized where the only spare seats in the classroom are. One of them is right behind me, a window view as well, but the other is to my right. So that means they'll both be sitting beside me? Actually, this is pretty convenient. I can finally ask them what the heck they think they're doing. Sayaka, with a spring in her step, waltzes toward the desk behind me. Hikari stomps her way over and takes the other desk. I lean out from my desk to try and catch their attention, but I'm cut short by the teacher who resumes whatever it is he was talking about before. Damn it. I don't want to get in trouble for talking during class. I'll have to wait until the break. That's 2 lessons away, though, which is practically an eternity. I swing back around to the front of my desk. I can't do anything right now, so I'll just pay attention to the teacher and... Ah, no. How can I pay attention to anything when 2 magical girls are sitting near me? I want answers now. Drumming my fingers against the desk as the teacher continues to drone on. I try to think of a way around this. It's better I don't speak during class, so... Ah, of course, it's so obvious. I dig into my school bag and pull out my notebook and pencil. I'll just pass them a note. Simple and silent. It's a bit of an immature means of communicating, I'll admit, but I'm desperate here. I scribble down my message. What are you guys doing here? I may as well get straight to the point. I tear the page out, almost ripping it in half in the process. Only one question left. Who do I give this note to? Well, what I could do is that I could try and look for my dice tray, which is somewhere, I don't remember. Or we could just go and say, let's try and make amends and make Miss Grumpy feel better about herself. So that was Hikari. Right. It's easier to pass her the note without looking too suspicious since she's to my side. Keeping my eyes forward, I casually lean out and slide the note onto her desk. I just narrowly avoid the teacher's ever-vigilant gaze as I do so, his eyes sweeping over the class like a searchlight. Phew! I'm hopeful that this might actually work as I watch Hikari from the corner of my eye. She gives me a sidelong glance, picking up the note with 2 fingers as if it were contaminated. She brings it up to her face, scans it over, and then crumbles it up with a sneer, tossing it back my way before focusing on the lesson. Oh, she even got the smirk here, like the little 3-mouth. Harsh. Well, that was a failure. And if I feel like the teacher is keeping a closer look on me than he did before, so I probably can't get away with passing another note to Sayaka instead. Feeling a little hurt from her crushing rejection, I slump forward, keeping my head propped up lazily with a hand. If she's going to be like that, I suppose I should try and piece things together the best I can until I get a chance to talk to them properly. Let's see. They said they were my guardian angels before, right? And that attack from before must have spooked them to the point where they feel watching over me from afar just won't cut it anymore. That's as good a conclusion as I can come up with on my own anyway. Since the Ice Queen over there refuses to even throw me a scrap of information, the first lesson of the day goes on at an agonizingly slow pace. I can't focus on a thing no matter how hard I try. After what seems like an eternity, the bell finally rings announcing the end of the lesson. There's still another lesson to go before break time though, which makes it impossible to talk with the girls, especially since the next lesson is PE, where the boys and the girls are separated. Why does my life have to be so complicated? After reluctantly getting changed for PE, I'm soon in the schoolyard with the male half of our class. Much like the first lesson, I find it hard to pay attention to the PE teacher as he goes through the basic warm-up exercises. I follow the exercises, just about, with as much enthusiasm as a zombie. The rest of the lesson is sort of a blur, at least until some of the male students start to look over towards the track field, where the girls are. They are staring in amazement, some even rubbing at their eyes as if it couldn't be real. What's so amazing? What are you guys all looking at? I muzzle into the crowd that's formed so I can actually get a good look at the field. No way. The girls are running on the track, which isn't an amazing thing in itself, but who's running on the track? But it's who's running on the track that makes it such an unreal sight. That might not completely be within school regulations. Hold on. Can I... H. Okay. Woo! Lovely. And print screen. There we have a thumbnail. Sayaka is blazing across the track, practically a blur as she leaves the others in the dust. She's literally running circles around them. She doesn't look tired or exhausted at all either, save for the beads of sweat creeping up. In fact, she has a big smile on her face, clearly enjoying it all. As if it wasn't obvious before, these girls are on a completely different level. I'm sure she's breaking several kinds of record right here. The other girls in the group helplessly trail behind her, their expressions ranging from sheer confusion to envy. Some of those girls are, well, I guess were now, the top of their class when it came to the track too. But she's making them all look like snails in comparison. I can't imagine how they must feel being showed up by someone who hasn't even been here a day. I can hardly keep my eyes on her. She seems just to get just a little faster with each loop she makes around the track. It won't be long now before she becomes just one big blur encircling the place. Is she even human? Nah. You were just told that they were angels, you dim-witted. I'm seriously beginning to doubt it here with this superhuman display. I think even the top athletes in this country couldn't compare to her. While Sayaka is hogging the spotlight here, there's someone missing in all of this. Her far grumpier counterpart, Hikari. If anything, shouldn't she be neck and neck with Sayaka? I scan the ones trailing behind, but I can't find her either. Just where... Oh. Behind even the other girls being left in Sayaka's dust, I see someone dragging their feet, a sour expression on their face. She's just walking, her arms folded like usual. I wonder if her arms are glued like that. She isn't even trying. She must really not have wanted to enroll here. It must have been Sayaka's idea entirely. What are you all staring at? Come on, let's get back to it. Apparently all forgetting that we had our own lesson, the teacher calls us back to reality, forcing us all to reluctantly stop gawking at the girls. The rest of the PE lesson goes by without anything much of note happening, and then finally, the lunch break arrives. I spot the magic girls in the classrooms and casually chatting away with some of the other students. Didn't think they'd be able to make friends already. Though, after Sayaka's little display earlier, she's probably the talk of the class. Oh, Kenta! Hi there! She gives me a wave and a cheery smile, but I can hardly say I do the same. Oh. Yeah, hi. Look, can we talk? Go for it. Not here. I mean, can we talk somewhere private? Crap. That might have come out weird. I'm getting weird looks from everyone in class, a few of them breaking into whispers and giggles. Even Sayaka is feigning surprise despite full well knowing what I mean. Oh my, that's a bit sudden. I don't know what to say. Come on, stop messing around. I've been dying to talk to you, both of you, since this morning. Oh god, I made it worse, didn't I? I've somehow turned this into looking like one of the most awkward confessions ever. Are you always this forward with girls you've just met? She giggles, going along with the continued painful stares from the class. Well, if she's going to be like this, I have no choice. This is going to make me look even worse in front of the class, but I need answers. I take a deep breath to steel myself, and then... Hey, what are you doing? I grab her by the wrist, pulling her along towards the classroom door, whether she likes it or not. Given what I've witnessed before, I'm sure she could have had me flat on the floor if she was truly opposed to this. I think she's just messing around at this point, though. Someone didn't think about this being in windowed mode. And you too, come with me. Kya! Who said you could touch me? With my free hand, I take a hold of Hikari's wrist, no doubt cementing myself as some sort of a deviant within my class. Thankfully, they both follow along without too much resistance. Ignoring the brunt of Hikari's verbal abuse, I continue on to the doorway. I just have to find somewhere quiet where no one will hear us discuss this magic and monster business. The question is... In all my haste to escape the classroom with both the girls in tow, I crash into someone who's already making their way through the door. They stumble backwards, looking slightly dazed. Thankfully, they don't look hurt. Are you okay? Sorry about that. I offer her an apologetic smile. Who is she again? She must be from my class, but I can't recall her name at all. It's fine. She speaks in a cold tone, her equally cold eyes locked into my own with an intense stare that completely betrays her words. Yikes. I guess she has a reason to be annoyed given my clumsiness, but this is a look of pure hate. Okay then. Confirming she's okay, I continue on with Hikari and Sayaka, their processing, mostly from Hikari's side, increasing in volume. I can't even begin to imagine what this must look like for people passing by. I'm sure even as I head for the stairs, that girl is still staring at me. Did I do something to annoy her? I mean, besides the clumsiness from today, of course. I can't worry about her for now. I have bigger problems to worry about. Namely, 2 big problems, one in each hand. Emerging onto the roof, I'm thankful to see that it's devoid of life. Safely walled by tall mesh fences, the roof is technically a spot students can spend their break at, but it isn't really that popular. It works for me though. Okay, now can you guys explain this whole mess? I release both of their wrists simultaneously. Sayaka bounces happily, completely unbothered, while Hikari on the other hand drops her wrist as if I had assaulted her. Next time, how about you ask before grabbing someone like that? You're lucky we're in a public place or I would have sliced you in 2. Oh, this is exciting! Is this gonna be one of those confessions I've heard so much about? Confession? To who? Both of us? What the heck are they even? I shake my head. This isn't a confession. You know full well what this is about. I can feel my face burning up. It really is exhausting dealing with them. Sayaka gives me a teasing smile before bursting into a giggle. Apparently this is the funniest thing in the world to her. I know. You want an actual explanation for all this, don't you? I just couldn't help myself. Thank you. I let out a sigh, my shoulders drooping. Finally. So, what did you want to know about first? Oh! Yeah, let's take it from the top. I think the monster part is less important right now. Okay, this should be an obvious one to ask. I asked it before, but only got the vague answer of them being my supposed guardian angels. Hoping she feels more generous right now, though. Well, I'm Sayaka, and this is Hikari. Did you forget our names already, silly? I might actually rip my hair out here. I open my mouth once more to say that she knows damn well that is... Whoop, sorry. That's not what I meant, but it seems she's way ahead of me. In all seriousness, I'm not really sure how much more I'm allowed to say. We're already bending the rules as it is with showing ourselves to you. I mean, really, this whole thing is a complete disaster. Why did you have to cause us so many problems? Hey, it's not my fault, I think. Just be thankful you're so important to me, or we could have left you to be eaten by that thing. The realization of what she said slowly dawns on her, and on Sayaka too. It was quite fun to watch her usually grumpy face gradually go red before she stomps in a fluster. I mean, important to us! Us! Smooth. Sayaka giggles and gives her a playful punch on the shoulder. Well? Hikari responds in kind by giving her a wallop to the shoulder with nothing playful about it. Are these two even partners? Anyway, I try my best to keep things on track, though I'm sure it won't be long before it devolves into violence once again. I think the most we can tell you is... we're not from around here. Rather, we were sent here specifically to ensure your safety. Do you belong to some sort of group? Wait, are there more of you with these weird powers? I might have said too much already. She rubs at the back of her head with a grin that pretty much says, whoops. I probably won't be able to get any more out of her on this subject. For today at least. Maybe I can catch her off guard another day. She might slip more. So, was there anything else you wanted to know? Oh, so we are able to ask all the other questions. I like that. Rather than you have time for one question and that's it, and I'm gonna shut up after that. Well, okay, let's take what I think is the second most important one. How long are you going to stay here? This is an important one. Just exactly how long do they plan on staying here to, watch over me? Sayaka pulls a frown at my questions, a genuinely sad-looking one at that, tugs at my heartstrings. Was it really that bad? It's almost like you don't want us around. Are we that much of a nuisance? Damn it. Why does she have to phrase it like that? That's clearly not what I meant, I think. It's just, as long as they're here, I'm sure there's going to be nothing but trouble in my life. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, come on, I didn't mean it like... She suddenly burst into a bright beaming smile again, almost blinding me. I know! You're just easy to mess with. I couldn't help myself. This girl. She breaks into a laugh. One I'm sure can be heard by the entire school, even from all the way up here. We won't be held long, I promise. Just until we've sorted things out. I guess you can't tell me what needs to be sorted out. She puts a finger to her nose and winks. I thought so. Top secret and all. But we're in the process of figuring this whole mess out. It shouldn't take long. Maybe a couple days. A week at most. A week? If it was up to me, we'd be gone by tomorrow. I hate this place. It's so noisy. Well, if somebody was more useful and helped me instead of just complaining all the time, we might get things done quicker, Whoa, she said that without her smile faltering even one bit. Her tone just as cheery despite the biting words. That's kind of scary. Even Hikari has no argument against that, those words causing her to fall silent as she shrinks back from her deceptively bright partner. Moving on. So, was there anything else you wanted to know? What was that monster? I want to know more about what the heck that thing was that they saved me from earlier. A shadow, I think you call it. I'm guessing there are more of these things lurking out there. And they're after me? Well, in this particular case they are. Though, usually they're not so aggressive. But they've always been around lurking in the, shadows. It's really weird. I've never seen one so brave as to attack someone in broad daylight. It was like something had gotten really riled up. Or maybe she falls into thought, leaving Hikari and I to stand awkwardly exchanging even more awkward glances. Sayaka? She snaps out of her stupor, blinking back to reality. Huh? Oh, sorry. Don't worry, it's nothing. What the heck did I do to annoy these monsters anyway? It's not what you did, it's because who you are. Who I am? Yeah, you're Sayaka! What? Okay. Sorry. Sayaka is cut off by an ear-piercing cry from Hikari. Ow. I guess I'll never know now. Hikari seems adamant about keeping this a secret. He doesn't need to know any of that. It's better this way. We'll sort out the problem at hand, and then we can finally leave this horrible school. You're no fun. You're right though. Sorry, Kenta. She gives me an apologetic look. She really sounds sincere too. Like she's practically bursting to tell me, but just can't. No use pressing it, I suppose. Maybe one day. So, was there anything else you wanted to know? That's all for now. I guess that's all we have time for now. I think the bell for the second half is about to... Yup, there it is. Oh? Time to go back now, is it? She stretches her arms into the air, giving a small yawn. Well, I hope we were able to clear things up a little. Something like that. Come on, we don't want to be late. Sayaka bounds for the stairs as if we're in some sort of race, her partner trailing behind her as she gives me one last look. She stops, her eyes cast downward for a moment, before flickering back up. Hey, what's up? Nothing. It's nothing. And like that, she disappears down the stairs too, leaving me alone on the roof. Huh. I wonder what that was about. I guess I should follow after them. I don't want to be late again. As I start for the stairs, my stomach makes a terrifying sound. One that screams for food. Oh, right. In all my haste to figure out what the girls were doing, I neglected to get my lunch. Oh. And that's all we have time for this episode. In the next one, we shall see how the rest of Kenta's day with his newfound classmates is going. But until then, take care.